It's me, Prakash Simkhada, 1 year MA student in STEAM education. Today, I am going to present on my different resource material that I have prepared throughout the semester on the subject resource material development. Our course facilitator is Mr. Thilnarayan Srestha sir. Now let's begin with presentation overview. I have prepared a different resource material which I have applied in the classroom. Let's begin with first one. I have prepared one teacher handbook which is for graded students in the subject science and technology. For this, I have prepared different presentation, resource report, menu activity, atomic model preparation, placard preparation, everything. In our curriculum, there is 50 marks external evaluation and 50 marks internal evaluation. And I have prepared this project as a rubric-based evaluation for internal assessment. This kind of activities support the structure and transparent assessment. Here you can see that I have prepared, I have divided based on the post schedule for post terminal examination. I have prepared or assigned the different subject for the students. Your presentation on scientific learning is carries 10 marks. Research paper review and report preparation 15 marks. Many activity on course and motion 10 marks. Likewise, practical exam 20 marks. Altogether here it will be 100, and based on my need, I will convert these marks into assigned marks. For example, our full marks for internal assessment is internal evaluation is on 50. So I will convert this into 45 marks, and later on 5 marks will be obtained from other post terminal examination theory or external evaluation. Here, for an example, when I am taking the presentation on the topic scientific learning, our students they will be evaluated based on this type of rubrics, and the marks of the each student will be recorded on this marks recording sheet. This is one. Another, for research paper review report as well, the student will present prepare the review report, and that will be graded based on the evaluation rubrics. Likewise, here are different projects, and after taking practical examination, practical evaluation, model, everything, finally the marks will be summed and changed into, in this way, the name of the students will be there in the one column, and suppose a student one, how much marks he got in presentation, research report, menu activity, all sum will be calculated and it will come into 100. And as required, if we meet out of 50 or 45, we can convert it into the required um, full marks. In this way, I have prepared one internal practical marks division, internal evaluation division. This makes the evaluation of the student more scientific and logical. Next one, uh, I have prepared one practical worksheet on the human heart or cardiovascular system, circulatory system. Here I have designed mainly two activities. One is for heart dissection, another is for blood grouping identification. Here different types of assessment criteria are also mentioned. Here you can see in this worksheet, student first of all they will write the reflection on what do you see in the picture, how it is related to the chapter. This worksheet will be provided to the students, and after observing the diagram of the heart, the student writes something about it, and later on they will uh, fill this crossword puzzle based on the clues provided here. Yeah, altogether there are 18, sorry, 19 words they need to fill in this crossword puzzle. After this, they will be asked to do the dissection of mammalian heart, maybe both heart, and that will be provided to the students. In the theory section, they will learn this paragraph, and there are some gap left in the paragraph. They will find or they will guess the word and write it here. And they will follow this procedure and they will identify while dissection they will be taken into the biology laboratory of my school and here they will identify right ankle, left ankle, right ventricle, so different parts of the heart. And if they can see, they will eat, or if they cannot see, they will cross it. Yeah. After this, they will do another activity. Then teacher will ask the questions like, what are the four chambers of heart, and what are its function? What is the name of largest artery, and what is its function? What is the name of largest vein, and what is its function? And after doing this activity, the students will be given to level the parts of the heart in this way. One, two, three, four, like this, dissected heart. Then there will be given some questions like it when dissecting a mammalian heart, what should be your first caught? Okay, how the students have to start the dissection. Another question: a person is in a pan of toilet. After some time, uh, another man observes pen and see ant on the pan of the toilet. What is the reason that pen has such condition explained? Yeah, they will guess the answer. And here is another question. In different question, the students explore the answer like it. Yeah, and in question number 5 also, there is given this kind of flowchart. The students will observe this flowchart based on their previous understanding. They will answer the question like in which blood vessel pure blood flow, what are the differences between a sign key, in this way, different activities. So at the end, the student will feel this kind of self-reflection form, like am I able to identify the scientific instrument or material easily? Am I able to handle the equipment safely? And later on, the grade will be provided to each learner. And another one is activity on classification of living beings. This activity I have applied in my classroom. Here, the students will do the different work. First, they will observe the picture. Later on, they will solve some crossword puzzle activity, and they will start to fill the or work on the classification worksheet, and they will fill the oviparous and viviparous table. Later on, they will be requested to observe the museum specimen, and they will do spotting activity, and at last they will follow the self-assessment. Yeah? These are the different learning outcomes which I have mentioned in this activity on the topic or chapter classification of living beings. First one is students will be able to differentiate vertebrates and invertebrates. They will be able to classify organisms by characteristics. They can distinguish oviparous and viviparous animals. They can identify major vertebrate class. They can also observe the preserved specimens scientifically and note down the characteristics. And they can also develop the collaboration skill with what's effective work in the group. And in this activity, I prepared the lesson plan based on 5P model, yeah, 5P approach that we call. First, we will observe the picture in the engage phase and in the explore phase. The group-based classification or other activities will be given in explain phase. The student will do the presentation and in the elaborate, they will do the spotting activity. Yeah, and later on the realization in video. And here you can see the students are observing the museum specimen is I have mentioned here. First of all, I want to show you the worksheet here which I have developed. Here the students have to observe the diagrams as you can see, and based on this observation, student will write something like what do you see in the picture? How is it related to the chapter? Then this will open the curiosity to them. Then they will fill this crossword puzzle. I have given altogether 14 crossword puzzle. Like in number one, there is organism that live in water. They need to identify like between aquatic A, Q, Q, A, T, I, C. So they need to fill the word in the crossword puzzle. Then they will do the experimental activity. They will classify these animals and vertebrate and invertebrate like lizard, leaves, snail, and they will give the reason to question number one. Why you classify the organism as a vertebrate and invertebrate? How do you know it? They will explore the reason, they will write the reason, then they will be given the next, or they will be given the list of organisms. They will classify this organism into viviparous and oviparous group. Yes, and later on they will also add some other vertebrate organisms beyond the list. And in number B and number C, they have listed different organisms. In number D, they will classify these organisms into different groups like the organism that live in water, that live in both land and water, the organism that crawl and has a rough skin, the organism that whose body is covered with feather and can fly, the an organism or animals which can give the direct birth and supply the meal to young ones. They will classify like this. Then students will be given the spotting activity. The museum specimen will be kept at different places. So they need to identify the name of the organisms and they need to write some characteristics with other examples that belongs to into that class. Yeah, different organisms will be given like this in the spotting activity, and again the students will be given to identify the organisms by providing the different pictures, and they will explore the different characteristics. And in this way, this kind of activity help to understand the different aspect of vertebrate and invertebrate animals. Here, uh, after the activity, I observed that the students actively participated in all the activities and there is enthusiasm while observing the museum specimen for the learners, and they are able to accurately classify the organisms with justification, and the crossword which they have filled that improve the scientific vocabulary for our students, and the group spotting which I have done here is the teamwork and collaboration. So later on, at last, I asked the students for reflection and reflection. Later on, uh, these are the some photos where students are discussing about animals and their characteristics, why it belongs to the particular phylum or the particular class. Next activity is I have prepared digital instructional material and applied in the classroom. This is on the chapter chemical reaction. Here are different stages. In different stages, I have done this activity. I am at first, I have prepared the PowerPoint slide and I have done the presentation. I have shown some videos on the YouTube. Then I, I have allowed the student to visualize the chemical reaction to balance the chemical equation from the phase simulation. Later on, the students are given the opportunity for group discussion and they are asked to solve some interactive quiz and finally the feedback of the students are taken. Here also, I have followed the 5P instructional approach. Your in introduction phase, I have asked the different questions like why does iron rust? In PowerPoint presentation, I have presented the concept on different physical change, chemical change, type of chemical reaction, types of catalyst, and I have shown the video related to everyday chemistry application. In field simulation, the students have balanced the chemical equation by adding and removing the number of reactant and product molecules. In group discussion, there are 6 groups, so they have done the presentation to their finding, and on a smart board, I have shown the different quiz questions and students answered and immediate feedback is provided to them. And in this activity, I found that around all of the students reported that we can improve our understanding through this kind of activity. So digital learning is more, they are saying digital learning is more advantages than traditional lecture-based approach. You can see that students are observing the different pictures or they are doing the balancing chemical equation through field simulation. And I want to show you the different activity which the students have done uh, in this assignment. Here, uh, during PowerPoint presentation, while showing the video, students are actively engaged in the activity. I have kept the different learning outcomes like students will be able to define chemical reactions correctly. They are able to differentiate between physical and chemical change. They are able to explain the different types of chemical reactions, and they can explain the factor affecting rate of reactions, and they can differentiate between endothermic and exothermic reactions. So these are the different learning outcomes which I have listed, and I have mentioned here the whole lesson plan, and group activities are also mentioned here. Group one is presenting about and discussing about physical and chemical change. Group two on types of chemical reaction, especially on combination and decomposition reaction. In this way, different groups are assigned for different activities. And after doing the activities, students' reflection were taken. So I want to show you one reflection activity what the students said while while doing this activity. In this way, I have provided this kind of feedback from the PowerPoint pages to help you to understand the lesson clearly. They have to, based on like this library skill, they have to, if they are strongly agree, they need to take on 5, every 4, if neutral 3. In this way, I have taken the feedback. And I have also kept some questions to provide by activity. Which activity did you enjoy most and why? What did you learn from the today's lesson? What suggestion do you have for improving future lessons? In this way, I have taken the feedback on. And I want to show you one video which I have applied in my classroom as an evidence. Please listen or watch it carefully.
Today, our topic is chemical reaction. Okay, here we will learn the types of chemical reaction, factors that affect the chemical reaction. Also, you need to develop this kind of project. I have given some examples. Here, physical change and chemical change we have learned in class 6 also, 7 also. You know, type of temporary change in which no new substances are found. यस्तो भयो भने फिजिकल चेन्ज हुन्छ होला कि केमिकल चेन्ज हुन्छ होला फिजिकल चेन्ज द टाइप अफ चेन्ज इन विच न्यू सब्सटेन्सेस आर फाउन्ड के हुन्छ त केमिकल चेन्ज हुन्छ र एनीवन एड वान मोर थिङ्स अबाउट फिजिकल चेन्ज एन्ड केमिकल चेन्ज यु वान्ट दिस मेन्सन इन द बोर्ड कसैले के एड गर्न सक्छ फिजिकल चेन्ज र केमिकल चेन्ज कसरी आइडेन्टिफाई गर्ने हाउ to identify physical change and chemical change. Reversible, irreversible mention there. Anyone? Oh, okay. Our chemical reaction, right? There is given fill in the blanks also. You need magnesium chloride and addition. You have to here is you can say addition, decomposition, this. Sorina, you cannot. When you balance the reaction like it, okay, what will be the Yes.
And उर्दू
So here in this activity, you can see that the
तो
students
एक बार हाँ एक
aspect of the students like the different aspect of Bloom's taxonomy like cognitive domain, affective domain, psychomotor domain, everything were developing there in the students with their using their hands and head also, okay, to um, continue to complete this task. So uh, another activity is in another hands-on and minds-on learning activity I have prepared two game-based active work. First, I have prepared the bingo game on learners in my class for grade 10. This bingo game is this you can see here 5 by 5 bingo card, sample bingo card. The students are asked to write these 25 words in a different orders. First of all, I will show you the detailed plan. Then later on, I will show you how this activity will perform in my classroom. The major learning objective for this activity is the students will be able to classify elements as metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Another one is they will be able to identify different groups, elements, and they can explain the significance of atomic number. Yeah, and mainly I have designed two different activities for this. One is bingo card game, and another bingo game. Another is the periodic table or element card activity. So based on these two activity, I am going to fulfill all these learning outcomes. So I have asked the students to write these words in different orders. Then uh, in introduction phase, I have given all the rules and regulations about the bingo playing activity. So later on, I have given the clue word, some clue. For example, in for noble gas, there is one noble gas word. Yes, noble gas, and I state like it. If I belong to group 18, I am rarely participating in chemical reaction. Then they need to identify it means noble gas, and they need to tick on the code. And in this way, I spell or I had given the clue one by one. And when they get uh, first column, first row, first diagonal, bingo, then they will say the bingo and they will continue the work. And in this activity, I found that students are highly engaged and they say that this kind of activity is very helpful for them. And I want to show you one bingo game, this reflection, bingo game card prepared by the different students, and they have written their feeling to them. They are enjoying the activity and they are understanding the concept very easily. And every group, different students have written in this way, and they have written the reflection which I have kept as a feedback. And in this bingo activity, I have recorded one small video in my classroom. So I want to show now here you can see how the students are playing the bingo inside the classroom. Yeah, short video is I have recorded and I want to see it right now. Here, one interesting thing about the activity is the students are highly engaged. Yeah, highly engaged. Here you can see all of them are listening very carefully. Yeah. Another is in the same way, in order to fulfill all the learning outcomes which I have mentioned, I have prepared the different predictable cards.
Students, now we have done first round bingo. Now we are going to going for second round bingo. Please listen very carefully. You have to identify the words based on the clue given by your teacher. First one. First one. Uh, I belong to group IA and have one electron in my outermost shell. Don't say the answer. Just what I told. Based on that, please find the words and tick the word. I belong.
In this way, the students are enjoying the bingo game activity, and there are a lot of learning objectives.
First column, you sit down. The next one. Listen very carefully. Learning method. Next. We have the 15 elements from atomic number 89 to 103 and placed below the periodic table. Don't say answer, okay? Just think and think. We have the 15 elements from atomic number 81, 9 to 103 below the periodic table. Next one. I am found between metal and non-metal from group 3B to second B. I am found between metals and non-metals from which bingo? Which row or column? Third column? Wait, she said, let's stand up and say. Metalloid? Noble gas. I have to say the words first, then with their meaning. Start now.
Metalloid
Means?
it is the elements. This is the element. It includes metalloid are those elements which includes characteristics of both metals and non-metals.
Next one, which one?
Noble gas.
Noble gas. Meaning? अनि कसरी हुन्छ त नि यसरी फेल हैन सो नो बिङ सिट डाउन नेक्स्ट दिनेश please listen to him. Isotope. Repeat meaning.
The elements having same atomic number but different atomic weight.
Next one.
Orbital. The place where electrons found.
Okay, next.
Alkali metals. The elements which produce alkali when mixing in water.
Next.
Noble gas. The element which cannot take a part in chemical reaction.
Okay, the which row or column?
Second column.
Second column. Sit down. Okay, stop.
Okay, in this way, the students enjoyed in the bingo activity. Next activity is this kind of, I have prepared 20 periodic table, 20 elements card. In one page, I have written the name and symbol. In next another side, I have made the atomic structure. Yeah, atomic structure. Based on this, I have requested the student to make the periodic table. And the student, I've done the element family hunt activity. They have done electronic configuration. They have done studied the periodic trend detection. Yeah, and different activities they have done from this work. And um, in this activity, I want to show first of all how the students have enjoyed this work. Then
in our grade 10 students are making periodic table by using the card they are using it in different ways. ल चिराग भन त तिमीलाई यसलाई कसरी कसरी चाहिँ युज गर्यौ के कुराहरु थाहा भयो यसरी यहाँ टेबल बनाइरहदा ल त्यसलाई
हामी सोच्छौं कि पिरियोडिक टेबल हामीले किन युज गर्छौं हामीले पिरियोडिक टेबल चाहिँ किन केको लागि युज गर्छौं हैन अब पिरियोडिक टेबल चाहिँ हामीले डिफरेंट काइन्ड्स अफ थिङहरु हाम्रो एलिमेन्ट्सहरुको characteristics and different types of valencyहरु निकाल्न
हाम्रो अब सिलेबसमा छ हैन रिएक्टिभिटी के हुन्छ एटमिक साइज के हुन्छ यस्तो कुराहरु वी नीड टु स्टडी हो ल भन त ग्रुप सोध्छ हामीलाई पिरियड सोध्छ व्हिच वान इज द ग्रुप 4
फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड फोर्थ गरेर यो कार्बन
यो हेर्दाखेरि सबैलाई ग्रुप नम्बर आइहाल्यो हैन कुन कुन ग्रुपमा पर्छ ल व्हाट इज द पिरियड अफ एल्युमिनियम
एल्युमिनियम भनेको हाम्रो यता पर्छ फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड पिरियड
No, in this way third horizontal is period ल हेर है again you are in confusion you are saying vertical one period horizontal one is period next one है so what will happen in the atomic size when we move from left to right ल tell me
लेफ्ट टु राइट जाँदा चाहिँ हाम्रो एटमिक साइज चाहिँ घट्दै जान्छ
answer
हाम्रो यो भ्यालेन्सीले
or okay, or if you arrange in this way, यसलाई यसो गर त, यसरी गर त, ल हेर्नु यहाँ अब ओके यति मात्रै राख अहिले ल हेर्नु यहाँ यसो गर्दाखेरि के भयो भन्दाखेरि होइन लेफ्ट टु राइट जाँदा के भयो नम्बर अफ प्रोटोन बढिरहेछ नम्बर अफ सेल के भइरहेछ त सेम छ न्युक्लियसको फोर्स अफ एट्र्याक्सन बढेर आउटरमोस्ट सेललाई के गरिदिन्छ अरे श्रिङ गर्छ अनि त्यसपछि उता जाँदाखेरि साइज यसरी घट्दै गयो होइन ल ओके रिएक्टिभिटी के हुन्छ इन एनी ग्रुप फ्रम टप टु बटम
रिएक्टिभिटी चाहिँ हाम्रो मेटल चाहिँ टप टु बटम यहाँ चाहिँ रिएक्टिभिटी बढ्छ भने हाम्रो नन मेटल्सहरूमा चाहिँ टप टु बटम रिएक्टिभिटी घट्दै जान्छ
स्टुडेन्ट्स होइन दे आर प्लेइङ मेकिङ पेरियोडिक टेबल एन्ड प्लेइङ डिफ्रेन्ट मेमोरी एन्ड अदर गेम्स ल छोरीमा अर एनी अदर स्टुडेन्ट्स है त ल वाट आर यु लर्निङ फ्रम दिस एक्टिभिटी ल टेलर्स
यो पिरियडिक टेबल हो अनि यहाँबाट चाहिँ हामीले ग्रुप र पिरियडहरू थाहा पाउन सकिन्छ प्लस यो चाहिँ कुन मेटल कुन न्युट्रल कुन नन मेटल पनि यहाँबाट हेर्न सकिन्छ अनि एटोमिक साइज चाहिँ पिरियडमा यता जाँदा इन्क्रिज डिक्रिजिङ हुन्छ भने माथि के भन्छ यो ग्रुपबाट आउँदा चाहिँ डिक्रिज
No, anyone you can say. What is the period of calcium? What is the period of calcium? Fourth period. First, second, third is the period, not fourth. Okay. What is the group of phosphorus? Yes. Group. Okay. And phosphorus is metal or non-metal?
non-metal.
Turn the phosphorus backside. So, what is the number of electron in K cell? K cell 2. L cell 8. And M cell
5.
And what is the valency of phosphorus?
3.
How do you know 3 from this?
5बाट 8 मा गुणाले चाहिँ कतिवटा
It
इलेक्ट्रोन
can
गेन
get
गर्न सक्छ अनि त्यही भएर
yes, 3 भयो. And in case of atomic size, look here. In top to bottom, it has 3 cell, it has 4 cell, it has 2 cell, it has 3 cell, it has 4 cell. So number of cell is added from top to bottom. So atomic size is.
This activity help the student to identify the group number. So in traditional practices, before doing this activity, the students are facing difficulty to identify the group, to identify the period, and they are not getting the clear understanding why does the reactivity of element or electropositivity increases from top to bottom in the group, or which element becomes more reactive between fluorine and chlorine, and why they are not getting the concrete idea. Yeah? From this activity, they are getting the opportunity to toss the element structure and to visualize the element structure, and they can compare their atomic size with respect to one another, and they can analyze and they can give the answer. And most of the students, they are confused. Yeah, they are not able to understand why the atomic size decreases from left to right. Yeah, from this activity, it is being clear to them.
Increasing. And from left to right. आज हाम्रो सबिनालाई चाहिँ she is facing difficulties in
मैले एक्टिभिटी गराइरहँदाखेरि यहाँ लेफ्ट टु राइट जाँदाखेरि फ्रम लेफ्ट टु राइट नम्बर अफ सेल त सेम देखिन्छ जस्तै सेकेन्ड पिरियडमा हुने अल द इलेमेन्ट्स यो सबैको नम्बर अफ इलेक्ट्रोन सेल चाहिँ 2 छ अनि फ्रम लेफ्ट टु राइट जाँदा यहाँ प्रोटोनको सङ्ख्या त बढ्दै गएको देखिन आउँछ एन्ड due to higher number of proton, the force of attraction of nucleus body भएर त्यसले चाहिँ भित्रतिर आउटरमोस्ट सेललाई स्लिङ गर्छ सो द्याट चाहिँ एटोमिक साइज डिक्रिज हुन्छ भन्ने जुन कन्सेप्ट छ all the students.
Okay, making atomic structure, finding the group period. Now she is studying this periodic table by making this atomic structure card
and this kind of activity help them to achieve the following learning outcomes like first of all following learning outcomes where I think the students are they are clear about the passive students. They are becoming more active in this activity. This being more help them to explain the different terms like what is isotope, what is electropositivity, what is electronegativity very clearly. And I have given the opportunity to construct the periodic table. I have named this as a periodic table construction race, and students are orderly putting the based on the atomic number, and they know the concept of modern periodic table, and they are also They have also done the element family hunt, which in which family or in which group the particular elements belongs to, and they have uh, from the trained detective developed scientific reasoning like, uh, and there is healthy communication that foster the collaborative spirit for the learners. And at last, I have given the self-evaluation for them. So this kind of activity prove that low-cost materials, low-cost material can create high engagement for the learners. And all these three activities, which I have mentioned, shifted the learning from passive to active, and students will engage more deeply with hands-on and digital tools, and the learning are becoming visible through the student work and discussion. And the students who have got the confusion on lecture-based classes, they are clear through this kind of activities. So the main lesson learned are material design around the learning outcome, create deeper understanding. Low-cost material like card, bingo can outperform the expensive resources. The student feedback is essential for continuous improvement. There are some challenges I faced during this application of this kind of activities. I found challenge in time management during the group activity, and uh, it is difficult to ensure the full participation for all the group members because some group members are dominating the others. So there is teachers side to take the case. So some students needed extra guidance in the clarification activities. So these are the some challenges. And for future improvement, I integrate more problem-based digital activities, and I provide differentiated support for diverse learners. And I plan to add collaborative online tool I'm using as well. For that. So key takeaways are the three selected material, that is classification of classification worksheet and specimen activity, and the digital tools for chemical reaction and game-based learning for predictable and highly effective student-centered and instructional approach. This material actively promoted critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity to the learners. So, and there is meaningful and engaging learning is achievable regardless of the resource constraint as demonstrated by the bingo card game and other low-cost material activity. And I have used the digital tools like threat simulation, which bridge the gap between abstract theory and concrete understanding, like in the balancing chemical equation. The designing materials align with clear learning outcome that transform the classroom into active inquiry spaces. And here are different kinds of learning theory like Old's experiential learning theory, Vygotsky social constructivism learning theory. This kind of theory also uh, incorporated in this kind of activity, and the understanding of the students are becoming more wider. Thank you so much.